Today, we're diving into the surprisingly weak Blackbeard Pirates top brass, despite being one of the four emperors, and exploring the legendary strength of Garp. During the battle on Pirate Island Hachinosu, the unexpected frailty of Blackbeard's top guys came to light. Meanwhile, Garp's overwhelming power really stood out, reaffirming his legendary status. Plus, the world of One Piece hints that being big doesn't always mean being strong. If you agree with these insights, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you've got different theories, drop them in the comments. Just a heads up, this video contains spoilers up to episode 1067, so watch out. Let's jump right in. He's the captain of the 7th ship of the Blackbeard Pirates and is as massive as a battleship. In the world of One Piece, he's currently the largest character, even surpassing Oars. Interestingly, in the recent battle with Garp, there wasn't much focus on his fighting, and no techniques were showcased. So the truth is, we still don't know the full extent of Wolf's abilities. When you think about it, we only saw him getting knocked into the sea by Garp. Based on what Garp did to him and past depictions, we can make some educated guesses about Wolf's strength. Firstly, let's talk about a crucial point to understand Wolf's power level. Wolf was imprisoned in Impel Down's level 6 and survived the free-for-all brawl initiated by Blackbeard. Does that mean he's on par with other level 6 inmates like Crocodile and Jinbe? At first glance, you'd think so, but even among level 6 prisoners, there's probably a hierarchy of strength, and Crocodile and Jinbe are likely at the top tier among them. Remember, Crocodile was shown holding his own against 3 pacifistas. As for Jinbe, he one-shot Who's Who was said to be on par with Lucci with his Fishman karate. From this, we can infer that while Wolf is formidable enough to survive in level 6, he's probably not as strong as Crocodile or Jinbe. There's also an element in Aokiji's flashback that lets us speculate about Wolf's strength. Are you referring to the flashback when Aokiji was being recruited by the Blackbeard Pirates? Exactly that one. In that flashback, Wolf was already frozen by Aokiji's ice powers. So, the only times we've seen Wolf, he's been on the losing end? But even if Aokiji took him down, then it's safe to say he's not stronger than Aokiji, right? Despite Garp and Aokiji's swift moves, Wolf seemed almost defenseless against them. So it's likely that he's not too agile. Imagine if someone his size also had fast movement speed. That would be a terrifying combo. Power is basically a mix of mass and speed after all. Summing up Wolf's abilities, due to his ability, he's the biggest character in the series and his raw power is likely immense. However, against agile opponents, his massive size becomes a liability, making him an easy target. Being that large makes you an easy target, and if it also means you're slower, that's a significant drawback. Sure, he's probably durable being from the giant tribe. Considering all this, it's puzzling why Wolf is a captain in the Blackbeard Pirates. He has weaknesses, but only on the premise that it can always activate a movement speed on par with Saru and has the power and ability to damage the Wolf. So I'm sure he's a powerful opponent that those pirates around can't match, of course. So for most pirates, he's a formidable opponent, but when compared to the 4 emperors and their top brass, he seems a bit lacking. However, if, hypothetically, Wolf awakened his ability to affect his surroundings, our whole perspective changes. If he could enlarge Blackbeard or the other captains, Blackbeard's quakes and darkness could cover a much broader area. It could also significantly boost the other captains' attack power. So his allies could benefit from his abilities. He might even enable them to create earthquakes or gravitational pulls that could destroy the world. Knowing Blackbeard's cunning nature, he might have recruited Wolf with some plan in mind. I'm looking forward to seeing Wolf's true potential unveiled in the future. He's the colossal captain of the 8th ship and a heavy drinker. Basco Shot's ability is really baffling, isn't it? I mean, what's up with the glug glug fruit? Unlike Wolf, we actually saw Basco Shot showing off his skills. He has this technique called sugar rop where he takes a swig of liquor and breathes fire. He was rampaging, destroying towns, and even knocking Wolf away, all while hurling sugar rop at Garp, who's supposedly this legendary hero. But Garp wasn't fazed by the flames. He used the pirates he'd taken down as a shield and even tossed them, still ablaze, into the Hachinosu crowd. Garp handled it with such ease, almost scoffing at the technique. Kaido, who survived Garp and Roger's era, also turns into a dragon and spews fire with his Boro breath. Compared to that level of flames, Basco Shot's fire might just feel like a warm breeze to Garp. You start to feel sorry for the captains of the Blackbeard Pirates. In the Wano Country arc, Law and Kid fought against Kaido and Big Mom, and Zoro overcame King, who was spinning flames like crazy. So Basco Shot's techniques might not be that effective against pirates who are already called 4 emperors. Zoro can even cut through flames. Just like Wolf, Basco Shot was once frozen by Aokiji and turned to stone by Hancock, so their power levels might be similar, and when compared to the top brass of the other 4 emperors, they might seem a bit lacking. It's a shame, considering how menacing they seemed when they emerged from Impel Down and appeared at Marineford. They just seem overshadowed because the others are way too strong. He's the captain of the 4th ship and known as the Tyrant King. In the Hachinoso battle, he was one of the tricky players, wasn't he? With the powers of the Striped Strike Fruit, he can control entire islands to attack, kind of like Pika from the Don Quixote family, who had the Stone Fruit ability. He could unleash massive and powerful attacks from anywhere on the island, so his ability is certainly troublesome. But he took direct hits from Garp and Kobe's attacks. Pizaro's strength lies in being able to launch attacks that can crush battleships from anywhere on the island. But that strength is also his greatest weakness. Pika's Stone Fruit ability allowed him to freely manipulate any stone he touched. He could even turn the stone into his own body, becoming a giant and unleashing city-destroying punches. But to damage Pika himself, you had to drag him out of the stone. Pika was hiding inside the stone, so even if Zoro cut the stone, it wouldn't damage him if it didn't hit the real body. Now let's look at Pizaro's battle with Garp. Garp's Galaxy Divide hit Pizaro, who was somewhere on the island. And when Kobe hit him with the Neo Stain impact, it also damaged Pizaro's real body. So in Pizaro's case, you don't need to find the real body to inflict damage. Also, when he's merged with the island, damaging the island means damaging Pizaro himself. Now, imagine Pizaro facing someone with strong Haki, or someone with destructive power like Garp or Kobe. It would just make him a bigger target. It's like he's showing off his weaknesses. At this point, Zoro could probably take him down in a flash. Pizaro's been trying to make a name for himself, but being seen as a lower tier version of the Stone Fruit has led him to being called an accessories on the internet. He's the former chief jailer of Impel Down, and now captains the 2nd ship. Caught Garp off guard and damaged him. But Shiryu too got thrown around by Garp, taking serious damage. Considering he was stabbed in the stomach, it's wild how Garp is that powerful. But Shiryu stands a head above the other gigantic captains, in my opinion. You could feel that vibe from his moves. As I mentioned, Shiryu is the former chief jailer of Impel Down, got imprisoned himself for excessive violence against prisoners, so it's safe to say his skills are on par with Magellan. Given his role, he's likely stronger than the prisoners in Impel Down. I mean, you can't be a chief jailer without being able to handle level 6 prisoners, right? So comparing Shiryu with the likes of Wolf, Basco Shot, and Pizaro, who were captured in Impel Down, it seems pretty clear that Shiryu's skills are superior, which makes sense why he's considered Blackbeard's number 2. Moreover, unlike the other captains, Shiryu didn't rush into fighting Garp. Used his ability to vanish until the moment he stabbed Garp. Being a former government guy, he probably knew Garp's strength well enough. But more than anything, he must have coolly judged that he couldn't win in a fair fight. Basco Shot and other pirates were eagerly attacking, only to be countered. Shiryu's tactics really start to seem clever. He might have known how to win when there's a clear difference in strength. But on the internet, his actions are criticized as being too cowardly. I believe Shiryu's strike was a key factor in Blackbeard's crew capturing Garp, and his judgment and skills are undoubtedly solid. In future battles with the Straw Hats, he's a dangerous guy to watch out for with his surprise attacks. He's the captain of the 10th ship, definitely a key player in this battle, the only one who stood toe-to-toe with Garp and managed to hold him back. Kuan, acknowledged by Garp himself, is an incredible fighter who honed his fists to Garp's level, even using a warship as a backrest. Being a former admiral, it's no surprise that he's one of the top dogs in the Blackbeard Pirates. Kuan took Garp's black hole attack head-on, which sent him to the depths of the earth, but he didn't stay down. He got back up and managed to exchange blows with Garp. Comparing this to how the other Blackbeard captains fared, it's clear he's a cut above the rest. But thinking about it, Kuan didn't use his fists or haki in battles like the Summit War, just his abilities. Does that mean he wasn't going all out when he faced Luffy? Probably he adapts his fighting style depending on his opponent. In the past released film Z, Zephyr, who was Kuan and others' instructor, made an appearance. Zephyr, also a Logia user like Kuan, once told Admiral Kizaru that he always taught not to rely too much on abilities. Probably the real message was, Logia users excel in area attacks, but for strong Haki users, that just widens their attack range. So, choose when and who to use your abilities on. Indeed, for Kuan, if ice is part of his body, getting hit with Haki could lead to serious damage. Besides, Garp wasn't affected by the ice, so using abilities in battle could actually be a disadvantage. So Kuan decided that against Garp, a superior haki user, it's better to engage in physical combat using haki than relying on his abilities. His way of fighting is clearly that of an expert, true to his former admiral status. In future battles with the Blackbeard Pirates, Kuan is likely to be a formidable presence. Let's quickly predict what's in store for the Blackbeard Pirates. They were expected to be the final bosses, but considering each captain's strength, they might fall a bit short in that role. So I'm thinking the Blackbeard Pirates might end up turning on each other and disband at some point. Even the powerful Rocks Pirates, who gathered based on mutual interest like Blackbeard did when recruiting Kuan, eventually collapsed. In the recent battle, Pizaro showed jealousy because Blackbeard always made the front page, leading to a reckless attack and getting defeated by Kobe. Indeed, there was no sign of respect for Blackbeard among them. Pizaro even joked about taking over as captain in the past. In this battle, the Blackbeard Pirates didn't seem to cooperate against Garp. Instead, they each fought their own battles. Definitely not a coordinated attack. So it's fair to say there's no real leadership in the Blackbeard Pirates, just temporary cooperation for mutual benefit. Of course, original members like Lafitte and Shioryu seem to respect Blackbeard. They're probably in a slightly different position. But let's consider what happens if their current mutual interests disappear. The Blackbeard Pirates might start to disband and crumble, with only the original members sticking with Blackbeard. The depiction of this battle has significantly lowered the likelihood of the Blackbeard Pirates being the final bosses. What will the final showdown look like? The Blackbeard Pirates showed their weaker side compared to other emperors, but it'll be interesting to see how they move forward from here. Surely this isn't the end. So that's my analysis. What do you guys think? That's all for today. This channel posts summaries, explanations, and ranking videos related to One Piece. If you like One Piece, we would be happy if you could support us by subscribing to our channel and commenting. Thank you for watching till the end. See you in the next video.